Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to
The Friday Show.
Oh, it is the Friday Show, and of course we're back talking to you again because it's Friday.
It is Friday. It happens every week, you know.
It does. It's regular as clockwork.
And somehow it seems to surprise us every week.
Oh yes. See, it's Thursdays get in the way. You see.
Yeah.
Never been able to get the hang of Thursdays.
You're just copying Douglas Adams'
I am.
characters now.
Yes. Oh yes. I've always had a great affinity with Arthur Dent. Anyway.
It's the dressing gown, isn't it?
It is the dressing gown. That's what it is. Yes.
Anyway, sidetracked before we get started.
Yes. We want to tell you what we've been up to this week, and one of the things that we want to mention, as you may or may not have noticed, is we are in very bright sunlight because the UK is in the midst of a heat wave, and
We're not used to it at all.
No, definitely not. It is we're melting largely.
I don't know about melting. Certainly, crisping.
Yes, there is a certain touch of crispiness about us. Anyway, all that aside, we've still been out pointing cameras and stuff, and
Less often than we would have liked.
Yes, it has been a bit oppressive. So this week you will have on Monday seen the very first of our Cadw Challenge films, and we went to Chepstow Bulwarks Camp, which was
An Iron Age promontory fort.
I was going to say underwhelming, but okay. It's we had a pretty good idea of what we were going to find when we got there.
We thought there might be something more, like at least a lump.
Well, there were lumps.
Yeah, but that was from the swing set.
No, there were lumps around the edges.
Oh, yeah.
And ravines and cliffs and that sort of thing. So, as a place for us to go and see, it was quite interesting once we had a route around in the undergrowth.
I think it was one of those places where the history was more interesting than the site.
Maybe. Either way, we had a nice day out. It was hot.
This is going to be our theme. We
Yeah.
had a nice day. It was hot.
It was
We're
very
going to be
hot.
complaining when it rains because we
Yes.
can't do anything in the rain either.
No. And we met lots of nice dogs,
We did.
because that's what it seems to be used for now, is pretty much a dog park.
I was happy.
Yeah, you like your dogs, don't you? Yeah.
Other people's dogs.
Other people's
especially.
dogs, not
I'm
we don't have any,
very
so-
good at befriending other people's dogs, and then the owner being a bit put out that the dog that doesn't like anybody likes me.
We do get that a lot. Hello, Charles. He knows who we're talking about. Yeah. How is Blake? Keep us posted.
Who's a good boy?
Yes. Yes. Anyway.
Blake, not Charles.
No. Well, Charles is a good boy as well. Anyway, so... Anyway, moving swiftly on from Charles and his fabulous dog Blake, named after Blake Seven, you know. And if you don't know what Blake Seven is, Google it, because it was...
It's one of those things that has not aged well.
No, it hasn't, but it was early sci-fi. I grew up with it, you know, so I'm not complaining.
You've aged well.
Yes, I know. I've aged well, it hasn't.
Wednesday saw us climbing a mountain to see the sunset.
Yeah.
We hadn't quite planned on seeing the sunset initially, and then we thought because it's just been too hot in the day, it got up to nearly 30 degrees Celsius, and we decided, well, if we're going to go at the end of the day, we might as well film a sunset, and the sunset was nice.
It was, and we walked down, and there was still enough light to walk down after the sunset without having to use torches, which was good.
Yes.
Largely because we left them here.
There were a few hairy moments under the trees, but, you know,
Yeah.
it's all good. There's also, weirdly, the penultimate ridge is sheltered, but when you get up to the top, it suddenly becomes incredibly windy.
You wouldn't have thought that a mountain could have sheltered bits.
This one does.
Yeah. I mean, I suspect that I know
Depends
that
which way
the
the
wind gets up and what have you when sort of dusk happens anyway. Things sort of change atmospherically. So I'm wondering if it's something to do with that.
What's
Anyway,
next?
and that brings us up to Friday, which is today, which means that, you know, that's what's happened up till now. But next week,
Next week.
what is happening next week?
Next Monday is the second of our Cadw challenges.
That's a 2.
Also peas.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is going up on Monday,
Yes.
and that's quite an interesting film, isn't it?
It is. It's one of those weird things where there are bits of it on show just dotted around the place.
It runs through the town of Chepstow, so
and through some houses, and yeah, it's all.
it's a fascinating thing, and it's there's an awful lot of it left, which I didn't realise, because I mean obviously we've been through Chepstow several times, we've seen it and gone, oh look. I just assumed there were little splodges of it, but they're really quite long chunks of it. Admittedly, they're somebody's back garden largely.
Yeah,
or lots
some
of
of it you
people's
can't
back
get
gardens.
to.
Yeah, but you can see quite a lot of it, which is it's good stuff.
Yeah, it was good. And then the following Wednesday, because we're planning that far ahead now, hopefully, we are going to be climbing up to a lake via some waterfalls.
We are. I'm not going to tell you where it is because that'll be a nice surprise for you. But it is. It's a couple of lakes actually. We're going to go up to. We might split it into 2 films because it might be worthwhile doing that. But certainly there are. I don't know whether they're waterfalls or weirs, but we're going to find out when we get there. Really.
I like one of those things when you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's always the best thing.
It is.
Unless, of course, there's nothing there. That's always a shock. As with the fort.
It might be that there's not enough water to actually see whether there's waterfalls or not. It might be, again, just a question of damp rocks.
We were supposed to have rain on Wednesday, and the rain turned out to be kind of a light flickering of a few moisture droplets.
It wasn't even drizzle.
No.
It was just almost sort of, the occasional drop in the air. It was pointless.
Is somebody throwing something on me, or have I been dripped on?
I thought for a moment that I'd had an encounter with a bird, which fortunately wasn't the case. I just got rained on, so that's a good thing. As a result, we didn't get much in the way of rain that would fill up rivers and streams and lakes and waterfalls and all that sort of stuff. So it's all getting a bit dry out there. The lawn is definitely not liking it.
Well, at least we don't have to mow it so frequently.
That is very true.
Also, we wouldn't be able to mow it so frequently because it's just...
It's too hot.
oppressive.
It's, even at night now it's getting kind of unpleasantly warm.
And final news, Patreon rewards. It's the new month, so the new things will be coming out soon. So you'll be getting last month's disaster drawing, the poll for this month, and some other things coming along. And you'll be on the end of this lovely video and on all the other lovely videos. And the wall of thanks will be posted up.
Yep. And of course, if you haven't already discovered our wonderful Patreon page, you can find it at the link that is appearing down here and up in one of the corners. And one of these days I will work out where that appears. So that's pretty much all we've got to tell you this week. Obviously, the Cadw challenge is going to sort of keep going.
We've got a lot of work to do.
We have an awful lot of work to do.
Research, largely research, isn't it?
It is. It's sort of it's become more clear to us that although we are doing 130 films of Cadw properties up and down Wales, the fact that we're also continuing to make waterfall films and the Friday show, etc., it does sort of point to the fact that we are making an awful lot of films this year.
Or will be.
Or will be.
Yes.
It's going to be chaos. But a nice kind of chaos.
I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
A definite maybe.
So we will be seeing you... Well, you'll be seeing us, really. The next time you click on one of our videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Partly because of the fact that we get really excited when more people subscribe. And also, if you feel the urge, please feel free to share our films around. You can find sharing buttons beneath the video on the website.
And on YouTube, there's a list of things that you can click there.
Yeah.
And if you want to get notifications, don't forget to click the little bell
to give it some ears.
See you next time.
TTFN.